boat trip scheduled for tomorrow, but I think only the players doing well today will want to show up to the boat trip. It's also interesting with day offs. I think in general the players, when you ask them if they would prefer to lose, if you can choose when you lose a game or when you have a bad day at a tournament, no one ever wants to have a bad day before the day off. Even if the free day gives...
Yeah, let's jump to that clash between Hikaru and Pragg, the tournament leader right now. Yeah, essentially, let's just do a quick backtrack. We'll go right from the start. We see the Nimzo-Indian, which is characterized by Black's bishop jumping out and pinning the white knight. This has been a key ingredient in nearly every top player's opening repertoire throughout the years. And after e3, the move bishop to d2, just avoiding white's pawn structure being damaged on the c3 square. This became fashionable in the last few years. I guess players were just frustrated having to enter any long forcing lines. This is known to be very positional. White just often tries to take the bishop pair, as we see very shortly, and aims to eventually complete kingside development. But Black says, yes, you've got my bishop, I'm going to get yours in return. Knight to e2 defends that bishop and ensures the pawn structure stays intact, and now pawn to d5. And there are various moves here for Black, one of them being bishop to a6, just attacking this pawn on c4, which is slightly loose temporarily. There are ideas in the near future, for example, there we go, bishop a6 by Pragg. And I was actually going to point out one of Magnus Carlsen's ideas was to actually sacrifice a pawn recently in the World Cup by playing the move f3, which looks like a blunder to everyone at home. It looks like, whoops, you've walked into a simple double attack. Bishop takes c4 now, and queen h4 is a nice trick. Check, hitting the bishop as well, but Magnus introduced what I believe was a novelty against his countryman Ariantari by playing h4 in this position and saying, I'm a pawn down, but I don't care. I'm going to play h5, h6, rook h4, swing it across, attack your queen, and lots of opening theory in this type of position.
Fascinating line there. Honestly, it's a lot of fun when you see top players evolving or revisiting an opening that was considered to be not great, not a lot of teeth to it, but this really sort of passive bishop d2 move you pointed out. And normally in an Nimzo, white is not playing for this type of transition with d5 so quickly here. It's like almost you're trying to have like a Benoni space advantage or something and punish Black's kind of cramped development on the queen side by getting d5 so early. You make that knight on b8 stuck, which of course hurts the development of the rook. So always fun, right, when you see players evolving with the help of whatever their supercomputer friends are at home. Okay, Hikaru's not interested in the pawn sacrifice attack, plays b3.
I was very curious about it, whether he would go for the sacrifice, but he chooses the more solid and more traditional approach. Maybe later he wants to play h4. It's still on the board.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that game was a bit too famous. So often these high-profile games, you see Magnus adopt an idea. You can guarantee all the top players have studied that one as well. So,
yeah.
black has to dodge this. The white knight might be reaching the f4 square. Maybe this is the dream. Just to kick the black king out to the corner. Okay, he's making progress, but very slowly here, Hikaru.
He needs to be careful not to repeat by accident. Praggnanandhaa is looking at the score sheet.
The last capture or pawn push was on move 60, so we've made 20 moves without any progress. 30 more moves, here's the draw. Hikaru has to win a pawn by then.
How do you break through on the 6th rate? This is... I know I said I didn't think it was a fortress, but I'm eating my words. I don't see exactly a clear path. If you could get the king to d7 or something and get around, there would be a way to sort of outflank the f6 pawn, but
the white king could come up, maybe chances, but no. Okay, what has Pragg played? He retreats. Yeah, maybe you could get the rook to b6 just to break the 6th rank blockade, but you have to be kind of really good with your timing there. Rook trades, you have to make sure that they don't allow black to draw on the spot. He's coming round from the side, he's tried other angles.
This move immediately threatens knight f4 as well, and don't walk into king g6.
Black rook needs to move.
This is tough. Now you have less than 10 seconds, and Pragg doesn't know how to deal with knight f4. It attacks the rook and the pawn on h5.
He's gonna fly. He made the move in 3 seconds.
This is so hard to defend. He's done so well to get even this far with Pragg, but he needs to keep it up. Hikaru head bob going.
4 seconds, 3 seconds. Pragg has to move. He does so with 1 second on the clock. But he doesn't have much time now.
Needs to keep his rook safe. Pragg, he's really living life on the edge.
Oh no, 3-2.
He gets checked.
He gets checked, but here comes knight f4 check. No? It's still not a clear win. Pragg is still defending with seconds on his clock. He actually gets back to 22 seconds with those back-to-back moves.
Watch out, knight f4. King will shuffle to h6, and there's stalemate ideas on the board.
Stalemate
Gotta
ideas.
be really careful.
Oh wow.
Be super careful here.
King h6, Pragg looks over at the camera. Hi, Pragg.
Okay, he's gotta move his king to h6 though, otherwise he drops a pawn.
3 seconds. You gotta go to h6.
Forward.
Wow, what in the world?
But rook h7 is checkmate.
Rook h7 and then rook h5 next move.
Oh gosh,
sees it.
and
Oh
he
my
sees
gosh.
it. And Pragg
And he plays it
knows.
slowly.
Pragg knew it. He realized it as soon as he played king to f5 that he made a huge mistake after such a long defense. It's move 86 where Hikaru Nakamura takes the win against Praggnanandhaa after such a tenacious defense. Oh my gosh.
Wow. That was the tension visible on both players. Hikaru jumped out of his seat. He's just relieved